Okay, I've already taken off this stand. So on this side of the CPU, I got one bolt left, so I'll take that one off. That's the plate that come off of it. Now, this is the plate that's going to go behind it, and I had to press in some little stays in there. So it's going to go like this. It's going to come up from behind. Just like that. And now I've got to get these started. In case you're wondering how come I'm doing all this instead of allowing the grandkids to do it, I told you how much all this stuff cost. Yeah, they will have an opportunity later on when I get more experienced. But like this CPU, which I'll put on here in just a little bit, good God, them things are high. So, and it's got pins on the back of it, just like needles that stick down in these little holes right here. So, no, I can't take a chance on that. Now then, once you get it in there, you take just a standard screwdriver and snug it in. Now remember, this metal is not graded. So that means that you will strip or break it if you try to bear down on it. So all you need to do is just snug it real good. Okay. So that's what the back of it looks like. Now then, that's gonna go just like that. We've got 4 of these, 2 long and 2 short. I'm gonna have to determine which is what, because one is for the AMD and the other is for Intel. Looks like the long one is for the AMD. That's what I want. But now I'm going to have to bring that thing up to the middles, I believe. Yes, sir. That looks like it. Now then, what I'm going to have to do is to stick that up right there. And I'm going to have to take my little screwdriver. Here it is. My little magnetized baby. Get that ready. I guess I need to do it on this side so that the camera can see what I'm doing. I am going to have to prop it up or do something like that. Set that through there. Okay, that's got one side done. Now, this would be the long one. I'm going to slide this to the inside, just like that. And of course that turns in. Put that right there. Okay. Here's my other screw. Okay, so now then, see if I can get all the junk out of the way. So maybe I can pull this thing over here so you can see it good. It's gonna set just like that. So, next thing I got to do is to break out my CPU. That's $1 varmint. That's it. Razor 7. Now, in order to put it in there, you take your finger and unlock that bridge and you pull it up. Now, when you pull it up, you'll see that this slides. So you got to have it all the way up now. Or else you stand a chance of bending some pins. And you don't even want that. Okay, so now right here is your point. I don't know if you can see that. That's an arrow, and it's pointing to one here. This is a brand new CPU. I've never installed one. Usually they got offsetting stuff and it's easy to figure out. Well, that's about useless. Anyway. Again, this is the CPU, the Razor. Now you see on the back side of this thing, all them tiny little needle pins. Better be careful. This is the pointer. And before I do anything else, let me go to this little sorry manual. It probably does have where the pointer is at on here. Okay. Well, wouldn't you know it? You don't got nothing. Well, let's go over here. Maybe it's got something here. Okay. So it should be down here opposite this. So it should be right there. That's where the pointer should go. Arrow should go. So we got this all the way up. We got the arrow down. Bad thing is this motherboard is black. It's hard to see. Okay, you see that went down. No problem. So now, you gotta just lock it in. CPU is there. That's a big relief. Now then, what we gotta do now, we gotta put some grease on the CPU. Now, the CPU builds up a tremendous amount of heat. Let me get a knife or something. Cut this darn plastic bag off. Bad thing is plastic. You know, it's supposed to be easy open up with your finger. Yeah, right. Okay. It's stronger than metal most of the time. Okay. Well, guess what? I opened up that bag, and that tells you how good some of these contractors are. I opened up that bag. You know what was in that bag? Air. So that ain't worth a flip. However, I do have this. I always have an extra in case something happens, and this is the time when I'm glad I did. So on this, what this is grease, heat grease. And I'll put the grease on the CPU, and it will smear onto the heat sink. And then when the CPU builds up heat, the grease lets the heat go into the heat sink quicker. Now, if you don't know what a heat sink is, it's a radiator. This thing here is a heat sink. Now, brass, the two things that gets heat and gone quick is gold and brass. Of course, gold's too expensive, you can't use that, but we can use brass. So it's got brass, and then the radiator itself is made out of aluminum. So the brass goes up through the aluminum, and then the fan pulls the heat off of the aluminum. Okay, so now then, we are going to set this down right here. And see if we can get her started. Now when you do this, don't just keep nailing one until you're done. If you do, you're going to jack it sideways and take a chance on messing something up. So what you want to do is to get it started. Now you see that move down? When it moved down, I knew it was started. Now again, don't try to kill it. If you try to kill it, you're going to strip it or break it. Just snug it good. It ain't going nowhere. Okay. So now we got our CPU in it. Got our heat sink on it. We ain't put the fan on yet. And the reason we have it is because I always like to put the RAM in it first. That way you don't have any kind of problem. Because I have had it that I had to take the fan or at least part of the heat sink off and able to get the RAM in it. There's your RAM. Okay, now then, we're going to open up these holes, these tabs. That's your locking tabs for your RAM. And now you've got a long side and a short side. If you look here, you've got a long side and a short side, so it's going to go just like that. So first thing is you take it and you put it in the back, because the back is stationary. Then you take it and you slide it into the front. Now you take your hands, push down. Now when you push down, you hear it click. That locked that in place. Now let me show you the RAM itself. This is the RAM. It's just like a chip. Now what this is on the outside is aluminum. It's a heat sink. And it builds up heat too, but now nothing like a CPU. But it builds up heat as well. And we got to get the heat away from it, so we put a heat sink on it. And the fans from your tower will blow across it, and we'll pull the heat off of it. Okay, 2 down, 2 to go. Oh, I'm making a lot of trash. Okie dokie. Number 3. Now, remember, each one of these are 16 gigabytes of RAM. So after it's all said and done, we're going to have 64 gigabytes of RAM in this computer. Now, what's the purpose of RAM? RAM stands for extended memory, or random extended memory. That allows you to do a lot of different things at one time. The more RAM you got in, the more that you can actually do. Of course, also if you got plenty of RAM in it, it aids the CPU. So you don't have to worry about it overheating or slowing your computer down or any of that type of stuff. Okay, now here is my fan. Now, okay. Now these little wires right here is what's going to hold the fan on. So it's going to have to go like that right there, I think. Well, yeah. Let's see. I can't do it like that. Now, it's going to have to snap over it. Kind of like that. Well, looks like I'm going to have to put it at the bottom whether I want to or not. Because otherwise, the clamp is going to be in the way. So, you put it on just like that. Well. And then we'll turn it around over here on this side. And we're going to have to put that in like that. Put the bottom in. Yeah, I can see it. Boy, this black motherboard, it blocks a lot of your vision. Okay. Well, now just pop right back over there. So we'll try her again. There we go. Okay. So as of right now, we have the solid state hard drive in, the CPU in, the CPU cooler in, the RAM in. And at that point, we're going to call a halt to it for right now.